Okay, I chose an article from the Encyclopedia of Research Design by Karen Moulton on Interrater reliability. Um, in this article, she uses an example of three raters attempting to score an AP test uh, and points out that those ratings are going to be based on subjective judgment. And that presents a concern because you want to make sure that you have consistent judgment of those tests. She also defines or uses the term inter-rater and inter-observer interchangeably, and also explains that they're assessing the degree in which different raters or observers make consistent estimates on the same phenomenon. It's important to point out that just because a rater rates something with a 1 um, and another rater rates it with a 2, if they're both consistent in their ratings throughout all of the different AP tests that they give, then you still have consistency, even though you don't have necessarily what's called agreement. It really depends on what the researcher is going to use to define agreement. Are they going to use identical ratings in that is 1 to 1, or are they going to use, if one gives them a 1 and one gives them a 2, if they're within a certain uh, distance of each other, uh, then that might be acceptable. So it's obviously important for that researcher to point out how they're defining their reliability. She also points out that it's possible to have high inter-rater reliability but low inter-rater agreement, and vice versa. So you may be consistent but not having the same numbers but being in the same range. Um, and then she goes through and talks about the different types of calculations for inter-rater reliability. Cohen's kappa, which she points out that this takes into account how much chance is involved in the raters selecting a particular rating. So if there are only numbers 1 through 3, um, there's a certain amount of chance that those two raters were going to choose a number not because they necessarily agreed or were inconsistent with each other, but because they had a 33% chance of selecting that. And so what that Cohen's kappa does is takes into account that opportunity for chance and kind of strips that away from the agreement, so you can see, was there really agreement, was there really reliability there, or was it just by sheer chance that they appear to agree or are consistent. She also mentions Pearson and Spearman, Cronbach's alpha, and interclass correlation. Was interested in how that all worked, and so I uh, did a little bit of searching on the internet, and I found a video which I'm including in my post on kappa coefficient, and they kind of just describe using SPSS how to find the kappa coefficient. It's pretty interesting just to see how you can strip away that sheer chance of agreeing, and to find out whether there really is inter-rater reliability or not. Um, I'm thinking that the way that I would probably use this inter-rater reliability um, would be to transcribe an interview and then provide some coding for that, and then have my research partner or research team also see the review the transcription of the interview, and then attempt to apply codes themselves and see which codes where the discrepancy were in the coding, see whether we both agree on that.